After doing business in one spot since the 1960s, Osseo is looking to expand its city facilities. Emily Haugen breaks down what's next for Osseo City Hall.
Established in 1875, Osseo is a blossoming city, ready for a change, particularly in its aging buildings.
We're really starting to see this building, especially City Hall, show its age.
Shane Michelson, the city's police chief and interim city administrator, has watched the city evolve over the years, and he says it's time for a refresh.
For City Hall, it's an age issue. For the police department, it's just people. We don't have enough room to fit the people that we're hiring and adding on to the department.
Since last July, the council has been talking about the city's aging facilities. Ordle Architects partnered with city staff to draw up a number of plans.
It was about our community and what does our community deserve, what does our community want, and what is our community looking for in the future.
Some options pitch putting a community center in Bourboon Park. Others suggest adding a dispensary for cannabis sales to a renovated council building. The Osseo Council talked through plenty of options in its April 29th work session, all written down in this packet. But after hours of talking about this, Michelson said in the end, the biggest priority is moving the police station first to here, the Osseo Press Building. This means work will be done in stages, and timeline-wise, it won't start yet, as the Osseo Council considers its options. What will happen is a council decision, but Michelson says they want to hear from Osseo.
We need to have involvement from our community, and we really want that.
Because he says, ultimately, their decision is up to the people. In Osseo, Emily Haugen, CCX News.
We also have a closer look at the options on ccxmedia.org. There's a bill in conference committee with broad bipartisan support. It's banning junk fees. In today's Newsmakers segment, we talk with Senator Warren Limmer about junk fees, what they are, and what's next.
Junk fees are those hidden costs that consumers don't always see or even know about up front when they're making a transaction. Usually those transactions are over the internet or sometimes in a contract, but at the end, when you get your bill, it might come up as a surprising convenience fee or a service fee, maybe a very large delivery fee. Those are the costs that just drive consumers absolutely crazy. And they really should, if they are legitimate, they should be known up front to the consumer so they can make a choice. Competition's still alive in America, and consumers can then decide which company they want to buy their products or services from. And quite honestly, it's a long time coming. So this is a bipartisan bill in the Minnesota legislature. It is moving, and I'm sure it'll be passed very soon.
And the bill would just outlaw junk fees, is that right?
Well, it would outlaw them if the consumer never knew about them.
Gotcha.
You can resolve this issue, corporations and other businesses can resolve this issue by simply putting the fees up front and then living to the standard that's established and agreed upon by the consumer.
All right, and it's a bipartisan effort, so you got high hopes for it?
I have high hopes for it. Consumers need to be protected, even in a modern world, and especially on the internet. So many crazy things happen on the internet, especially in the areas of commerce. We want to make sure that we have high standards. And the federal government, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, is also looking into this. They may be coming out with legislation toward the end of the year. We didn't think that this is a time to wait. This is a time to take action.
All right, and if the FTC does take action, that will supersede Minnesota law, correct?
It may. Sometimes federal law allows the states to have more strict standards. And so we'll have to just wait and see to see how the federal government writes their bill, and we might be back to tinker with it a little bit.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Senator Warren Limmer, Maple Grove, thanks for being here.
Toys aren't for kids anymore, and that's especially true when it comes to Lego. This weekend, we take you inside a store that caters to our sense of creativity and desire for nostalgia.
Hello, welcome in, you guys.
Some toys transcend generations.
I would say timeless and classic, both.
Awesome. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask any one of us with a name tag.
And in a strip mall near the Plymouth and Minnetonka border,
We're probably the best kept secret in the West Metro.
there's a store that will appeal to kids
Thanks so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day.
and those who are kids at heart.
Once they step in, it is like a trip down memory lane. They see all the old retired sets that we have. They're like, I had this when I was a kid.
Stephen Olan is the manager of Bricks and Minifigs,
So this is the monorail.
a store devoted entirely to the world of Lego.
It grew from just a couple stores to now over 100 nationwide. Star Wars is a huge draw.
The store has Lego sets from Star Wars to Marvel to pirate ships,
They got tables of bulk, new sets, retired sets.
and it has more minifigures than a person can count, including the incredibly hard to find ones.
You have this Boba Fett priced at $130 because he came from the Betrayal at Cloud City.
But if you talk to the customers and staff members, you'll realize it's much more than a place to buy and sell Legos.
It's more community oriented than any other hobby. Lego is this vast community of people that share their art, what they're creating, and people can kind of glean ideas off of each other.
That sense of community has turned Bricks and Minifigs into a thriving franchise.
We have a variety of assorted pieces, vintage pieces.
There is also the fact that Lego generally doesn't depreciate in value because there's a huge collector's market,
You almost always should be selling it for more than what you bought it for.
giving people the option of assembling a classic set or creating something completely new.
It's just a real dream to be here.